Wow. The Hornets they gave up on. They should have won this game. And usually I do an intro, but for this video, we're gonna keep it real and raw and uncut. The way it's meant to be. There will be no sugarcoating in this video. Hit the like button and please share this video with the family. Wow. Bad rotations. What did I tell you? If you don't play to win the game, you're gonna most likely lose. The Charlotte Hornets should have won this game. And these are the type of matchups where you're not really trying to manage minutes, not trying to worry about if someone's playing more than the other. Forget all that. Your job is to win games. And one thing that was glaring, I don't know if y'all noticed this, in the last minutes of the fourth quarter, the Hornets, I think from the 3-minute mark or the 4-minute mark to the 2-minute mark, they couldn't score. They couldn't score at all. Now, here's who I'm going to blame for that. Number one, James Borrego and his horrible rotations. That's for starters. And don't let me get started on Plumlee, who got outclassed by Jokic, who is looking like the MVP of the NBA this year. Jokic just took him to school. But let me digress. LaMelo Ball. One thing I do not want to see from LaMelo, and I don't care what the coach tells him, I don't like this passive play. After he made his 3-point shot, which was in the 1-minute mark, then he started being passive. No, you keep taking shots. But you have to go back to this head coach. I see what he's doing. He's all in LaMelo's ear. Slow down the pace, do this. No, you got to win the damn game. Forget all this trying to set somebody up to get. Being passive doesn't win you ish in the NBA at all. But I hope LaMelo can learn. At the 4-minute mark, we're going to go a little bit back with this. At the 4-minute mark, LaMelo shoots a 3. Then, after that 3, passing it here, passing it to Terry, passing it to Plumlee. No, I need you to take over in the fourth quarter. For the Charlotte Hornet fans who are really James Borrego fans, who tell me, DJ, he's never critiquing LaMelo. I just did right now. I never want to see LaMelo be passive, especially in the fourth quarter. But I'm not going to put 100% blame on him because I already know what the game is. And the game is James Borrego, he cannot continue to sub him out too long in the fourth quarter. You do that, your shot's not on, you're out of rhythm. It doesn't feel the same. These athletes are not robots, man. You can't just go on and off and click on and off every time. When James Borrego put LaMelo on the bench, I knew, and I told myself, oh boy, now we're going to have this passive LaMelo. I'll take aggressive LaMelo anytime. That's the point guard I want to see. Aggressive LaMelo. The type of LaMelo who is not afraid to take any shot on that court. Aggressive LaMelo. Who takes it to the basket, not worrying about physical contact. Aggressive LaMelo. Yes, he can pass, but he's going to get his. And I don't want to hear about this was a close game and they could have beaten the Nuggets. So you want to settle for moral victories. Moral victories do not win you ish in the NBA. The Hornets do not have that luxury to have that mindset where they can just be satisfied with a playing game or just winning a playing game or just being there in a playing game. They did the same thing last year. You got Terry Rozier, Gordon Hayward, and a lot of veteran players. And you don't play your young players. You expect that just making it to the playing game or potentially winning one playing game is a victory, is a winning season. It's not. It's mediocrity. I could list out 5 coaches, probably 10, that would do a better job than James Borrego. James Borrego, man, he dropped the ball. And it's that one problem. If JB had better rotations, if he left LaMelo alone, let him be him, and not trying to psychoanalyze the situation, I guarantee you no one would complain about JB. But his one flaw is a problem on that court. If you're a head coach, especially in the NBA, and your rotations are trash, fans are going to be pissed off. It don't matter what team it is. It's a glaring issue. And this is nothing against Isaiah Thomas, he can score, but you know he don't play no defense. So there was a lineup with Isaiah Thomas and Terry Rozier. 2 players who don't want to play defense. Really, Isaiah Thomas is so undersized. That's a matchup problem. What is he, like 5'9"? And you got Terry Rozier, and if he's not taking the most shots, he's definitely not going to defend. He doesn't defend anyway, but he's really not going to play defense if he's not taking the most shots. Miles Bridges, he did his thing, 27 points, 11 rebounds. But when you're playing against a team like the Denver Nuggets, you got to swing for the fences. But I predicted before the season that the Hornets would be a 9th seed. So that's why I'm not really ticked off. I'm disappointed that they lost, but I'm not surprised. That fourth quarter has been telling. The fourth quarter we all saw is what we've been seeing from the Hornets since they started with playing LaMelo last year when he became a starter. We're used to it. Everyone that's listening is used to it. Now, the bench play a lot better, even though Cody Martin didn't score. He had 0 points. How you gonna play 17 minutes and have 0 points? I don't care if he's just a defensive player. You can't even get 2 damn points, and you're taking away minutes from LaMelo and Miles Bridges. If you can't score a basket, you can't be playing more than 15 minutes a game. Kelly Oubre, 26 minutes, but he did have 12 points. That's the difference. And pretty much Cody Martin, his defense tonight was just anemic. It was just, you ever see those, what you call shadowy defenders? The shadow defenders. Like pretending you're playing defense, but you're getting cooked at the same time. You're just running around like a chicken cut off its head or something. That's what it looks like. What defense? Isaiah Thomas dropped 12 points in 26 minutes, but he didn't play defense at all. But I'm the bad guy for bringing up that the Hornets in this offseason needs to reconstruct their roster. More willing defenders who are selfless guys that can make an open shot. Linked. I repeat, you need to have long athletic players. This is the new NBA. The new positionless basketball. See, a couple years ago, the basic principles of positionless basketball was undersized players fitting into one role. Now times are different. Now, today's positionless basketball is taller guards with versatile players that are interchangeable. You don't put no freaking Oompa Loompa size roster or Oompa Loompa size freaking lineups, JB. But y'all still think this is a good coach. This freaking coach lost the damn game because of ego, nepotism, not making the smart coaching decisions, not putting the best lineups in the game. That's what lost them. And you bring LaMelo back from sitting on the bench for too long. Now, JB fans, you're going to complain and say that we're just nitpicking. But I want you to hear me out. If this was the Golden State Warriors, and I'm not saying LaMelo, Steph Curry, no one is. But if Steve Kerr was sitting Steph Curry 8 minutes into the fourth quarter, 6 to 8 minutes, right? You think they'll win that many games? No. Now answer me that. Don't worry, I'll wait. But before I go, I want to point out that LaMelo Ball is literally saving James Borrego'S coaching career. And he's doing it by the breakout games that he had, the one against the Nets and various games, where he willed his team to victories. And shout out to Miles Bridges. He's also helping as well. Those two players are helping JB keep his job. And I know a lot of you don't want to hear this, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's retained again because, again, this organization is comfortable with mediocrity. I had a debate online with somebody that said that if the Hornets do not win a playoff series, it's still a winning season. No, it's not. It's an average season. Some people say below average. I've seen coaches who lost their jobs by not making the playoffs or not winning a playoff series, and they've been coaches for 2 years, 2 to 3 years. JB is the most privileged coach in years in the NBA. I can't remember the last one, but he's got to be the most privileged coach. To be below 500 in most years. This is the only year he's above by 500, and it's barely. To get whooped in play-in games and etc. For him to still be the coach is really sad. If you're a Hornets fan, you would want your organization to do better. Can you imagine if Mark Jackson was the head coach of this team and allowed LaMelo to grow and groom him like all the other stars like John Morant and others? That's why John Morant is ahead of the curve. I'm a fan of LaMelo, but you would never hear me say LaMelo's ahead of the curve over John Morant. The head coach at Memphis allowed John Morant to grow and be the franchise player. The Memphis Grizzlies built that whole team around John Morant. That's why he's a superstar he is right now. There's a difference. And the Hornets are just playing LaMelo like one of the guys. In today's NBA, you cannot win championships doing that. The last team to win a championship where 3 players barely scored 20 points was the 2004 Pistons. That won't happen again in a long time. So Hornets, trust your analytics. But I already know what you're going to do. You're going to hire JB again, no matter if they get their tails whooped in the play-in game or don't even win a playoff series. We know your playbook. This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need, and I'm out.